Alright, you guys, Steve Hamp here to talk about evasion, angles, using the angles. We saw that 10-second fight with the Tai Chi guy losing to the MMA guy. Not saying he would have won by using this, but he would have lasted a little longer. Okay, he needed to practice real fighting in order to compete. But I always try to tell my students this: if you're on a railroad track and a train is coming, you can run down the track all you like, but eventually you're going to get run over. And that's what we saw with the Tai Chi guy. He just went straight backwards. And I see all these sifus and masters talking about this fight, but I don't see any of them referring to, they talk about what he should have done, and he could have did this and he could have did that, and I don't know if he could have done any of those things, like coming back in at the guy and elbowing. Yeah, of course that's a technique that could have been used, but without practicing fighting and to get timing right, and feeling people's strength, and they can say all of those make-believe kind of scenarios all they want, but what I'm here to talk about is using the angles. Okay, if that train is coming at me, only thing I need to do is get off the damn track. Okay, and I think had this Tai Chi guy knew how to use the obliques, he would have at least lasted a little bit longer. Okay, so slides is what we call them, and slides are extremely important. Okay, if you know how to block, if you know how to slide, I always told my students, who could hurt you? Okay, I've taught a lot of children that were being bullied, and when they came to my school, the bullying stopped because the first thing they learn is how to evade and how to block. Okay, even before they learn how to actually fight and counter. Okay, because if they can move, if they can block, they can't. Who can hurt them? Okay, so this is what when someone is fighting and they move back, eventually they're going to get caught. Okay, so it's a matter of getting off at these angles. Okay, and the only way to know how to get off at these angles is by actually sparring. Okay, because in a controlled environment with sparring, you're going to see your mistakes. You're going to slide into somebody's power hand, and then you realize, oh crap, I slid right into his power hand or his roundhouse kick, and you learn from those mistakes. Okay, and then you start learning exactly which way to go, what to do, and it becomes second nature. Okay, we have a couple ways of sliding. I mean, quite a few ways actually. If I'm in a orthodox stance, my left foot toward the camera, by taking my left foot leading his back, I'm gaining like 6 feet of distance from my opponent. Now, as long as he keeps coming, I see which way I need to go, whether I need to move off to my left or my right from there. Okay. Also, there's times I don't need to move that far, so I use my back leg, my right leg, to just take me back slightly. Okay, and then I can use the angles. Okay, so practicing these slides and going through this, okay, is not enough. It's actually have to practice it with a combative opponent to really learn what you need to learn about slides. Okay, basic rule of thumb though on slides is this: if I'm going back, my back foot can lead me or my front foot can lead me. When going off at the angles, if I go to my left needs to lead me. If I go to my right needs to lead me there. Okay, if I do it any other way, like I've seen people get off to the angle, but they'll go off with their left foot to their right side, and then they'll try to turn. And with an experienced fighter, you're going to get killed. Okay, but you might get away with it with a commoner, but you're not going to get away with it with someone with some knowledge. Okay, so basic rule of thumb: if I go to my right needs to lead me. Whether I'm fighting out of a southpaw, if I go to my right needs to lead me. So I'm always facing my opponent, never turning my back to my opponent. Okay, Let me know in the comments what you guys really think about these slides, because what we can do is a whole video on different slide drills, okay? And you can really start visualizing, okay? You're gonna really start visualizing in another month, because in July, Stevie will be in a brick and mortar place, and so we'll be able to really start using some actual opponents, you know, to give you a better visualization of what we're doing here. All right, so slides, using the obliques, the angles to your advantage. Okay, love you all. Hit the like button, don't be lazy, and if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. All right, talk to you next time. The quick demonstration with this tree, as you can see, I'm striking distance from the tree. I would touch the tree. I really wouldn't penetrate from this distance. But this is about the distance that I would be keeping a guy at bay with, you know, so at arm's length away. So just with this left foot leading, and that's not even sliding back. If I slid back, you see how much distance I'm putting from me and him. From here, going back with that right, look at the distance that I'm getting away from him at, okay? Again, if I go back with the left foot leading, look at the distance I'm putting between me and my opponent, okay? Before I get off to those angles.